My name is Kevin Jarrett. I am 45 years old and originally I come from Norwich. Many moons ago, 45 years ago to be precise. Nice city, a lot smaller than Swindon, 150,000 people only. Not a lot of industry, not a lot of jobs. Hence the reason I left Norwich. I got to 16 in 1982, right in the middle of Margaret Thatcher's depression. So there's nothing going on. The only choices I had for work was to go down to the turkey factory, go down to the mustard factory, or join the army. Neither of which I really wanted to do, but luckily I had a friend who'd moved to Germany. And he said, why don't you come over, see what you do, see if you can get a job. If not, you've had a holiday, go back home again at the end of it. I went over, wound up getting a job, signed on with the RAF, wound up working with the RAF for a little while, and for the army. Left there, came back to Plymouth. Worked down there on boats and things for a while. Not very good money, decided I needed some money. I wanted to travel the world and see Australia and places. Had a friend who I knew from Germany who lived in Swindon. Said, many jobs in Swindon, come here, work here, stay on my floor, get your head together. Came here, stayed on his floor, got my head together, went to Australia. Hence the reason I came to Swindon. Many jobs when nowhere else had any. This was 1995. Wound up staying because I met a woman. And that was that. My first impressions of Swindon when I arrived here, couldn't quite get my head round the fact that everybody had a job, because the other places I'd lived in people hadn't. Many people were unemployed, people signed on all the time. I was used to an unemployed culture. Came here, people couldn't come out for a drink because I've got to go to work tonight. I can't do this because I've got to go to work the next day, so that was completely different. People all owned cars here, which I wasn't used to. When I lived in Plymouth, if we wanted a car, we had to scrabble around to see who had a car that would lend us, and then work out who could drive it. None of us owned houses where I came from, so here everyone was a homeowner, which is completely different. It was just a complete and utter culture shock, to be honest. Wasn't over impressed with the place, to be honest. To look at, it didn't look very nice. I was very used to having the sea within 10-15 miles of me. I was very used to old buildings, I was used to a bit of history and a bit of culture. First impressions of Swindon, they'd built on it all. They'd take all their old buildings, they'd destroyed them and turned them into car parks or shopping malls and things. So I wasn't over impressed with the place. It seemed to be a very large village with no sort of infrastructure. Big place, nothing going on, basically. Still, because of the employment, it's the one place, up until recently, you could always guarantee you would get a job. I could never understand why people were unemployed in Swindon when there seemed to be so much work here. So basically, I'm an economic refugee. I came here because of money, and that's that.